Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. Good job making it for the final day. This one might be the one that's the most work, unless, maybe your kitchen sink was the worst. Bathrooms, there's just something about them. They often are the worst. They definitely need the most attention. So we're going to tackle just the bathroom counters today because bathrooms are definitely one of those spaces where it's easy to take forever cleaning them, right? Because there's always something more to clean and what's good enough. When am I done? And then there's that crevice and that crevice. And then turns out cleaning the whole bathroom's a really difficult job, an obnoxious job. And so we put off doing anything and then it gets terrible and it's a vicious cycle, or at least that's the way it used to be. Sometimes still gets that way for me. So bathrooms, especially when you have a number of people, a lot of children in your house, they get used a lot. Or if everyone's home all day long, all the time, like the more something is used for its purpose, the more attention it needs to just keep it functional. So what we are going to do is not clean the bathroom so well that it will never need to be cleaned again, but we're going to clean it such that we can maintain it. So I'm going to grab the slides. We're going to grab our stuff and tackle the bathrooms for 20 minutes. So I think that the bathrooms in particular are the place where we are going to feel most tempted to go for longer than our time limit, because you could spend more time there for sure. But we're going to focus in on the counters, the bathroom sink, and spend 20 minutes only and stop there. And we're going to notice how much happens if you only have 20 minutes. And so a big part of only having 20 minutes is that you will work differently if your time is limited. And so that's a part of what we're practicing here together, is limiting our time and noticing the change in our approach and in our energy and in our attention when we know that we have a short amount of time, rather than, well, however long it takes is how long it takes. I'm just going to get the job done. That actually lends itself to distraction and to slow work. But if we move faster and really focus in on what we're doing, we can get a lot more done in a short amount of time. And so that's what we're doing today. We're going to spend just 20 minutes. So you can decide if you need to spend 20 minutes in one bathroom, or if you need to spend 5 minutes in each bathroom, or maybe 2 bathrooms, so 10 minutes each. You're going to have to split this time up depending on how many bathrooms you have, how bad they are. Just make a decision right now, though, about how you're going to use the 20 minutes, and don't think about the jobs themselves as a whole that you're going to do in however much time it takes, because it defeats the purpose of these co-working sessions with a timer. Today's the last day of this co-working time limit cleaning challenge, and you can find the other sessions on YouTube if you've missed them. And you'll make sure to go grab cleaning rags, your cleaner of choice. You might need a scrubby and not just rags. You know your situation and what your job will require, and maybe a container for your assorted junk that you find on the counter, and a timer. But I'm your timer today if you're here live. So Rachel's going to spend all 20 minutes in her master bathroom. So we clean the kids' bathroom every week really thoroughly, but ours is always neglected. So that's a great decision right there. That's probably a good choice because the buildup in the kid bathroom is probably more. But then it's okay. I'm going to just spend a little time here. So that will be a great before and after photo to take. So now that you've made your decision of where you're going to focus your energy and your time and attention, take a before picture. This is where I did not follow my own advice. Jennifer is going to spend half the time for the tub because the kitten knocked over a plant and there's dirt everywhere. Yep. All right. So take your before photo though, because it does help. Don't say, well, I'll just skip it. Having the before and after photo helps. And the difficulty is always remembering to take the before picture. So here I'm reminding you, take your before photo, and then I'm going to start the timer. So I actually did not get before and after photos for myself. I don't know if that's ironic here or not, but actually what I've been keeping the bathrooms up. So I didn't really have a before photo. And then we did clean the bathrooms. We only have 2. And so everyone sometimes uses, even there's a master bathroom, but sometimes it's used by children as well, just because there's only 2 bathrooms and there are 6 people. So as you begin, now that you've taken your photo, start by just looking for garbage and throwing it away. I think that is a great go-to first step, no matter what you're doing. Just start by throwing garbage away. So I cleaned the bathrooms actually pretty thoroughly because we've had people over the last few days. So for several days in a row, I've cleaned the bathrooms. So it's incredible, but they're like clean because I cleaned them more than once. So that is I guess it ends up being a mindset shift where we realize that to have a clean bathroom, it has to be cleaned. But if we do that consistently, and for those of us with half a dozen or more people in the house, that's going to be more than just once a week, probably. Or if it's once a week, then that's real, like a project, a task that's going to take 20 minutes or more to clean the whole thing. But what I do is work wiping down the counters into my morning routine so that I go into each of the bathrooms. And in our previous house, there were 3. And then my husband added, by the time we left, we had 4 bathrooms. So I go into them every day, because what I found is when I didn't even go into some of the bathrooms, they got out of control really quickly. But all it took was just a minute, literally a minute or 2 of daily attention, and things never got disastrous, just because when things are out of sight, out of mind, things happen. And then bathrooms can just get really gross really fast. But sometimes you can head off some of those disasters just with slow and steady, not even slow, quick wipes. Fly Lady does her daily swish and swipe. And so that's the same kind of thing that I'm talking about here, is just a daily walking in with a rag and wiping everything down real quick. Doesn't take that much time, and it means that you're putting your attention there and wiping things down before they're a disaster. And then it's not a disaster unless kittens get in. So as you're, putting things away, throwing away the garbage, put things away that are quick and easy to tidy. So, the shampoo that shouldn't be on the counter, toothbrushes that shouldn't be laying on the counter. They should be in the toothbrush holder, that kind of thing. Just quickly put things away where they belong. If it's fast to return it to its home, collect up the hair stuff that belongs in the girl's bedroom or in the container that it belongs in the drawer. And, people just leave things out on the counter. That's horizontal space that's used. And so things are going to be there and it's going to get messy. That's just the way it is. And so we just have to quickly give it some attention, put things away. And as you're putting things away, the things that have homes, you might find things even on the bathroom counter that you don't really know about that don't have a home. So put those in your container where you've been gathering the clutter, the things that you need to deal with later. Maybe you can spend a 20-minute session tomorrow going through that container, but right now the focus is the bathroom counters. So we are postponing, procrastinating even on figuring out perfect homes for all the things that happen to be there. We're just setting them aside so that we can have clean bathroom counters. And then you're going to take everything off the counters, everything. So, usually I will use just the hallway right outside the bathroom door and set everything on the floor outside the door. Sometimes I'll just do one side of the counter, move everything to one side, clean that side, and then do that. That works too. But it is kind of handy to just take it all off and wipe down the whole surface all at once. If your bathtub is right there and it's clean enough, maybe things go in there. I don't like to set things down on the bathroom floor, even if I did just clean it, because it just seems wrong. So I set it in the hallway, or sometimes you can even get like a baking tray or a serving tray or a plastic Sterilite container and just put things in it and then move it somewhere safe. But you want your counters to have absolutely nothing on them for the next step. So take all the things off, and then you just have clear horizontal space that can really be wiped down and cleaned really thoroughly now without worrying about getting all-purpose cleaner on the toothbrushes. So if you're cleaning a kid bathroom, then there's probably toothpaste. I like to use a paint scraper. Someone earlier, I think on the kitchen sink session, said even old gift cards or credit cards can actually scrape stuff off really well. So some kind of scraper for scraping off the dried toothpaste gunk that just gets there. And even around the faucet and the drain or the sink, anywhere where there's seams and the stuff just can really build up. Sometimes I'll take a rag and my paint scraper and just use the paint scraper to run the rag around the seam of the sink really well, because it can be hard to get in those crevices, or, sticking the rag down that spot sometimes, depending on how the bathroom is designed, between the faucet and the wall, or between the faucet and the handle, depending on the shape and style of your faucet. Using the rag to kind of get into those crevices can sometimes be a trick. So if you have tricks, then share them. Another tip that someone in our community shared a couple of years ago while we were doing Sweep and Smile, which is our course inside membership for building your home routines, figuring out what your home needs, and then making home routines that just fit your family's lifestyle and schedule and all of that. She had a great tip, which was to use one of those dish scrubbers that has the container in it, so you can fill it with soap and then you scrub dishes and it lets soap out. She used one of those to scrub her bathtub and her bathroom sink. And she filled the little dish scrubby with vinegar, just plain cheap white vinegar, and a little bit of Dawn dish soap. And that does wonders. It really is an amazing bathtub cleaning solution. And the bristles, just the soft, they're plasticky, I don't know, bristles, cleans the porcelain or formica or whatever surfaces, tile, whatever surfaces you have. It really does a great job of removing scum. So, and buildup. So that's a tip if you need something that might be something to build into your routine later. You might not have the supplies on hand right now, but if you're scrubbing your sink and you're thinking, I don't know if this is going to come off, or I need some kind of better solution, that might be the solution right there. Don't forget the mirror. Speaking of toothpaste being where it ought not be, the mirror can get pretty crusty sometimes, depending on your toothbrushers. So don't neglect the mirror, the backsplash kind of around there. Wipe down the faucet itself. And then if you are changing your focus for at halftime, it is now halftime. We have 10 minutes left. So switch gears if you're going to be spending half of it on the counter and half of it on the tub, or half of it in different bathrooms. Now's the time to switch over. Yes, laundry, there's always dirty laundry on the floor. That's the truth. So after your surfaces are clean, you can return the things that do belong there. Toothbrush holders, whatever, soap, the things that really should be on the bathroom counter. You can maybe even give them a quick wipe down as you stick them back on the counter. Switching to sink number 2. Very good. So again, make sure if you're switching things up to start by removing things, even if it's like the tub, take everything out. It's just so much faster to wipe everything down if you're not trying to go around things. It might seem counterintuitive to like it's adding work, but it really makes it a much faster process to just wipe everything down when the surface is totally clear. So if you're changing up your sink or your bathroom or your focus, scrub or scrape the dried bits. Before returning the things neatly. And then as you look at the pieces of your bathroom, the places, the problem areas of your bathroom, whether that's laundry on the floor, toothpaste piles dried on the counter or in the sink, these kind of things. If you're noticing the problems in your bathrooms as you work in them, we have to be careful to not just be irritated at other people and say, okay, so my problem is these other people's bad habits and I've got to fix other people's habits. Like, we can help our children learn better habits, but the solution is going to need to focus on our action and not theirs. We can be teaching them, but teaching children habits is not an overnight change kind of process. And when we pin our hopes for a solution on other people's behavior changing, we are just setting ourselves up for more frustration and disappointment and discouragement. And we end up not focusing on what we actually can change, which is our own actions and our own attitudes. So, we could look and say, okay, the problem is laundry on the floor. It's like, well, think about the process. What can I do to make this situation better? Um, yeah, sometimes it's my laundry. Yes, it's not only children. That makes it easier to not just pin it on other people for sure. But it's like, okay, is there space for a hamper here? Or what kind of patterns could we change? Or maybe what I need to do is just build a daily habit into the afternoon EHAP tidy house time, or my morning routine or my evening routine just needs to be a bathroom walkthrough and I can just scoop things up. Or maybe the morning and or the evening routine just needs to be walking around the house with a rag in my hand and wiping out the sink. Because if I would like the toothpaste to not get crusty and grody on the sink, then maybe I should go around and wipe them down instead of trying to make other people do it. Not that children shouldn't help with chores. I am a big believer in children having chores. But if it's something that is frustrating us or building up until it's really difficult to deal with, then we need to just find the time and change our approach and attitude about it so that we give it the attention that it needs. Because ultimately, as homemakers, if we want to be homemakers, if we want to be making a home, then that just means having times set aside in our day where we go around and give our home attention and be sure that it is functional in the places and the ways where it needs to be functional. So, when do you need daily or weekly cleaning routines to keep the bathrooms under control and not disgusting and embarrassing? Bathrooms really are one of those places where we can express hospitality to ourselves and to each family member, because a clean bathroom is a nice thing. It's a pleasant thing. And um, yeah, I think a clean bathroom is really kind of key to offering hospitality. That we can sense that when our bathrooms are not in a state where we can invite guests in to use them, or when we have people over, one of the first things you do is double check the bathrooms, because you don't want to gross people out. Because that's not hospitable to have a bathroom where you have to worry about your hygiene. You want to be taking care of your hygiene, not worrying about it. So it's hospitality, and it's a hospitality to all the humans who use it, whether they are guests or family. So we can give our bathrooms attention daily if that's what they need. And a lot of times for a family with little kids or with a lot of kids, they really are going to need some kind of daily attention, because so much happens there, just like the kitchen sink gets used so much. And so it needs to be wiped down frequently because it's making dishes clean multiple times a day, or it's at least collecting dirty dishes multiple times a day. So it just needs more attention because of how much heavy, dirty use it gets. And it's the exact same thing with the bathrooms. They're just going to need more attention. And if you find that they need more attention than you're giving them, then it's not necessarily that there's some problem. That if other people just had better habits, or if you just found the right kind of cleaning method or cleaner or arrangement or bathroom storage solution, something would change. It's probably going to boil down to whether or not we give our heavily used cleaning spaces daily cleaning attention. But it doesn't have to be a big deal, because we think of bathroom cleaning as being a big deal because we wait for them to get disgusting, and then it takes a lot of effort and time to get them clean. But if we just give it daily, like the Flylighty swish and swipe and swish, it doesn't take that much effort to just wipe things down regularly. Yes, that's a great goal. So Rachel says that her goal is to never be embarrassed if someone drops by and asks to use my bathroom. Life goals right there. Yes. And it's just a great way to think about it, because that it gives us a goal and a purpose and a reason. And as with all places, we can always spend more time cleaning. So we need a goal, and we need something more than just, I have to clean it till it's clean because it's supposed to be clean. So it's supposed to be used. All right, so that is 20 minutes. 20 minutes to a clean bathroom. So you know what time it is now. It is time to take your after photo or photos. So see what you got done in 20 minutes. Swipe between your before photo and your after photo and see. And a part of doing that is just noticing that it is better. Noticing that your time and your effort makes a difference, and you can get a lot done in 20 minutes. And the more we recognize that and realize that and really feel it in our bones, the more likely we are to just say, oh, I'm going to do something for 5 minutes. Oh, this area over here is driving me crazy. And instead of imagining that I'm going to have to find a long weekend to get that back under control, I'm just going to, take 10 minutes here and see what I can do. That's the kind of attitude and approach we want to move towards, is just, oh, you know what? I have 10 minutes. Let's see what I can do. Let's see what difference I can make. And if you do that before and after with a timer, you see just how much of a difference you can really make. With the workbook with the checklist and everything for this challenge is still available. If you want to share, you can forward any emails that you got, or you can just share the YouTube link, however it's easiest for you to share, and email support@simplifiedorganization.com to get that worksheet if you haven't yet, or the workbook. Really, it has quite a bit in it. And if you did take before and after photos, I would love to see them. So you can also send those to the support inbox there, and let's just notice those transformations that we make in the short amount of time. So this has been a great series, a fun series this week. I hope you see a big difference in the state of your house in just some key areas, but mostly I hope that you are encouraged that cleaning the house, giving your home the attention it needs so that it can be a stage where life is lived well, where it's not a showpiece or a trophy or some kind of monument to your taste or style, but a tool to be used to build up our families and our communities. And that's why we clean our house and keep up with it, to keep it usable, serviceable for people's use. So I hope that just the short, focused times helped you see progress in your house and helped you realize how much you can really get done too in your house, that it doesn't have to be overwhelming or a giant weekend project. You can just give small bursts of time to specific projects and see a big difference in your house. So this has been a fun series. I know yesterday people said that they would love to see something similar for pantry clean out, laundry rooms. So I have a few things in the works. So on pantry and laundry, and a little bit more thorough kitchen cleaning. So keep your eyes open. You might want to be on my email list if you aren't yet already. You can go to simplyconvivial.com and there will be an email sign up there. Or actually, simplyconvivial.com/quiz has a fun homemaking quiz if you haven't taken that yet. And that will give you the next step that you should take in your situation to get more organized. I've broken down the process of becoming organized into 4 different steps. And we all need all of them all the time. And usually one is weaker than the other. So the quiz will show you where you're going to get the most bang for your buck if you put your time and attention in. So it's a fun quiz, simplyconvivial.com/quiz. And keep your eyes open by email or subscribe to the YouTube channel to see more upcoming on pantry, laundry room, tackling different places of our home, and maintaining a cheerful attitude about it while we do it. So see you later, everyone, and keep up those habits and routines.